And bam, hello. It's been like at least a week since I was on this. Possibly longer, I'm not sure. We'll be doing like maybe an hour or two. I'll take 1 year off that one. I can tell that I'm not going to be talking too loud. Right, where are we? What are we doing? So right up here because Dylan is
Resonance
somewhere.
emitted from the HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal I can arrange. But how did Darling create?
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late?
How is he? I need to know. He's clearly been affected by the Hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother? Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
Alright, before we do that, these two, I don't know why it's specifically showing like keyboard prompts, considering I'm playing with controller, but whatever, it still works. Right, still a conversation here.
Jesse, when you were down in research, did you run into a Dr. Rhea Underhill?
I didn't. Who is she?
She is a colleague of mine. A researcher studying a kind of extra-dimensional mold growing below research.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
No one does. Look, I haven't heard from Rhea since the Hiss arrived. Would you mind having a look around for her next time you're in research?
Of course.
Thanks, Jesse. Now, what's on your mind?
I visited the
Black
quarry.
Rock.
What's the plan for all that black rock?
The Bureau has used Blackrock almost exclusively for containment purposes. See, I say, branch out. Instead of boxes, helmets. Instead of blast shields, knives.
Knives?
Yes, knives! So many combat applications. Slicing, stabbing, gouging. Sorry. I've been trying to get Darling to explore combat applications for years. I got a little excited.
Wow. I did not expect that from her. This place is looking good.
Suppose if it works on
Arish is making real
multi-dimensional
progress
entities.
around here.
Right? This place is a fortress. With him taking care of operations here, I can spend more time analyzing the Hiss. I've been attempting to isolate and neutralize the Hiss resonance in blood samples, but no luck so far.
So you can't reverse it.
Not yet, but perhaps reversing it is too simple. See, if Hiss resonance can rewrite human genetics, then perhaps it's a question of rewriting the Hiss resonance. In theory, that could pave the way for custom human genetic alteration.
I wonder how often the phrase mad scientist is used around here.
And the last one is
How is HRA production coming along?
Better than expected. We've already made enough to get people out of a couple safe rooms. And they're here, alive, thanks to you. And we never would have lasted this long if you hadn't walked in those doors.
You deserve thanks too, of course. We got this place up and running together, Emily.
alright.
I should be going.
Solve
Enjoy
that.
your data.
Oh, I will.
That means I missed conversations, don't I? I will. Okay, so what have we got? We've got 3 on red, which are... research was sent to transcribe the recursive chant repeated by the Hiss entities. In the interest of safety, this was done with the non-aggressive flow in his entities. However, no distinction between this repeating phrase and one repeated by the more violent hiss has been observed. The purpose of repeating of this repeating string of words. How the hiss corrupts individuals. Does the chant produce a physical effect? A message, an incantation? We're able to record first-hand word of the chanting recitation. There we go. See the corresponding audio record. Referred file blank for report. And okay, if we understand the hiss to be a force-based vibration and resonance, perhaps their incantation, which is now the agreed-upon term for their vocalizations, an effort to express that resonance using human vocal cords and speech. Would there be differences if the incantation were recited in a different language? The most common word used is want. Interestingly, the usage of the word is attributed to you. You want to listen. You want this to be true. You must want these waves to drag you away. Are we the you that the hiss referring to? Does a hiss believe humanity, possibly all non-hiss life, wants to join it? Be consumed by it? Desires God? The most used words are through and time. This possibly the hiss stating how they arrived here, or an indication of its age. There's a clear intention in the words, dismissing the incantation as nonsense, as some colleagues recommended. Beyond idiotic. Go to blank for full report. To examine the inversion's timeline of events for possible patterns in hiss behaviour. Establishing a timeline is difficult at present because of the lack of reliable communication between bureau sectors and staff. Preliminary models indicate ground zero of the invasion is located within the executive sector. Once it becomes possible to interview surviving personnel, pointing the exact location should be feasible. Other outstanding questions that a timeline may help answer. How did the hiss get past the internal lockdown? How does hiss resonance advance through space? Deliberately or uniformly? What is their ultimate goal? The outside world? Cross-dimensional destination? Refer to blank for full report. I mean, to be fair, if the hiss did conquer the oldest house, they've got access to a crap ton of other realities. A whole bunch of thresholds connected. This point. Yeah, silver.
Good luck out there.
Right. The objective is still...
Best of luck.
Oh.
Fuck, if they're in there, we go around that way.
Whereabouts are you looking? Take it to the stairs. Yeah, but... Right, where are we heading? Because I'm not 100% sure. What was it I'm going now? Doubt it'll have been the director's office. Ooh. I did miss a room though. Like it's good that I came back. Now I have this. extra like no. Amazing now I clearly came back to get to this room. Right. I don't use spin. Maybe I should. Right, where are we looking? Top one? Might be the very top one. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. Yeah, is that one? I didn't know you can. I never actually read that they had a filter button. You can like literally just filter in the ones that you haven't read. What details surrounding his death are classified. I'm honoured to tell you that he died in the service of his country. Proud of his courage in the face of danger, and his commitment to protecting our nation against our enemies. He'll be remembered by his comrades and colleagues, and sincerely regret the pain this message will bring you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helps people protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Yours sincerely, Howard J. Murray, Deputy Chief of Communications at Federal Bureau of Control.
Did you see that hiss they marched through here? Why the fuck didn't we put a bullet in that thing's head?
I heard it's the director's brother. Would you shoot your brother?
That's no one's brother anymore. He's the enemy, plain and simple.
Guessing this is like a self-replicating sticky note situation.
Marshall orders us to just sit on our asses and then leaves? What's the deal?
She must have her reasons.
Right, what was that one? To whom it may concern, in case you are not aware, something caused a sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is now unusable. I'll be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell or home phone. Sincerely, J. Boza, Vice Chief of... Alrighty. Last push shot, right, so we've got damage, damage gain from headshots and damage after kills. I think we'll just swap this one.
Probably out doing some recon.
Then she should have taken us with her. I need some action, goddammit.
There's a lot of stuff in here that I just didn't look around to find. Okay, thanks. Right. Listen, now you can't control building shifts. The executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my butt off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right for a nice workplace pooper. Crapper, whatever you want to call it. If you can't bring it back, at least find out where it went. Steve Rodriguez. In here? Yeah, we're in here.
Happiness comes, white pearls, yellow. You are warm through time. The thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror, inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the white. You've always been a near you. You walk as the patrol. We stand around you while you train. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunderstorm distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. You are warm through time.
Shit.
The thunderstorm distorts you.
That's
Happiness
Dylan.
comes, white pearls,
Can
but
you hear
yellow
me?
and red in the eye.
Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here.
By the door.
I found you.
Through the surface into the wet. You've always been in there. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am?
You know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign.
Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please?
Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You! You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only truth. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small, in Ordinary, in the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic.
I know, but
So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
In your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time.
Right, so it pretty much seems like he's lost. What conversation do we have then?
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here.
Dylan. Can we talk?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start.
Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me. I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up. Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure.
What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
That's weird, because it's not like he's looking at Jesse, it's like he's staring straight at the camera.
White pearls, but yellow and red in the eye.
Why haven't we dissected that freak?
Right, so if we go to logistics, that should hopefully get us to the place we need to be. Oh, this doesn't lead to the place with the thingies, does it? I want to go this way. Right. Well, there is something over there. To interact with down here, I think. Down. That's the door. Oh, don't know, maybe it was a lock on for something else. There is under 24-hour surveillance. Check with guard before proceeding. All persons at property are subject to search, but to remove shoes and large coat. Current devices will be inspected. Who is he told? Don't eat mold. Locate the mirror. I can have a look at that later.
To find new prime candidates, the Bureau needs a director. Our future. P6 and P7.
Right, well, before we go that way. Okay, so that's not a time thing. That's good. Right, so case files. Mirror supplement. Victoria Mirror. Blank. She was admitted to a mental ward for emotional instability. Soon after relocating to Illinois with her family in 1914. The item only appears on record again in 2006 when the Bureau investigated a sudden rise in disappearances in Blank, Illinois. Agents found the item hanging in the local library. They contained it quickly, so the missing people of the town that were never recovered. Supplementary materials. August 18th, 1915. Certified that the case of Mrs. Blank has shown her to be a lunatic under the reasons of hysteria, bad company, and imaginary female trouble. Her fixation with the family-looking glass is noteworthy, though not an uncommon matter when considering the female disposition. That is highly sexist, but I suppose 1915. Miss Carver is fit subject of lunatic asylum and remain in its confines until her affliction has passed. Signed, Dr. Blank.
After North Moore stepped down, I doubled every effort to find new prime candidates. There was no one but me. That wasn't good enough. I pushed hard. I never wanted the Bureau to end up in that situation again. The Bureau needs a director. Always. When my time reaches an end, I want more options on the table. P1 through P5 were all false leads, dead ends, and disappointments. Then P6, Dylan Faden. He fell into our arms. No parents, they're gone, casualties of an AWE. The boy has exceptional talent. The oldest house will be his home. We'll build him from the ground up. He'll be trained and taken care of. Darling can be in charge of this project. I can't. I'll stay away. I will not fail the boy like I failed my own family. My daughter and my wife. We weren't careful enough back then. Something came home with me. I took work home. My Susanna got sick. When I realized my mistake, I wanted to bring her here for Darling to do what he could. Kate flat out refused. Civilian doctors treated our daughter, but they didn't have a clue. She died. Kate left me. Same old story. That was a long time ago. The Bureau is all I have now. and the prime candidates are our future. There are two, P6 and P7. We're spoiled for choice.
Yeah. A second. Oh, I know, it's still down, that's what was. Yeah, but... Right. Got to pull back a smidge. Right, I probably need to find that orb, because the orb is restoring everything's health. I wonder if that's, because I mentioned the hiss resonance in people's blood, I wonder if that's blood affected by the hiss. Oh, crikey. Also got something in the area. There you are. There we go. That's dealt with. And go back to this door. And hopefully not do as bad as I just did. wherever it is. Probably go visit Auntie to be okay, so P6.
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see? It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector. All the times I felt paranoid, I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
We used to play there all the time. Me and Dylan, and other kids as well. We loved it. This time, I remember, was different. We found a way in, deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went inside, and that's where we found the slide projector.
A dump is a place for lost things. Things that have been thrown away. Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What? No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
No.
Those were before your time, I suppose. But your family did look at photos together, maybe. In one form or the other?
Maybe.
When was this? Can you remember? At parties? Barbecues? How did it make you feel? Did your parents ever show pictures that embarrassed you? Was alcohol ever involved at these parties? Did your parents drink? Did that make you uncomfortable?
No. That's just stupid. Come on. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing.
The slide projector, let me ask you this. As a child, did you ever fantasize about worlds inside pictures? Inside a painting? You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know.
I will check this bit here. Bright Falls. Yeah, I don't need to read that. Unconfirmed threshold manifestation at Cauldron Lake, WA. Resulted in a fictional story written by the author Alan Wake, creating an AWE, in which reality was altered to match that of the story. So only locally and for a limited time. This Mr. Kirkland, head of investigations, was alerted on September 13, 2010 by an ex-Bureau agent, Frank Breaker, E. Blank, that an AWE was taking place in Bright Falls. We were referred to events investigated in 1970, 1976, 1978. Breaker had received a call from Barry Wheeler, Alan Wake's literary agent, on behalf of Breaker's daughter, Sarah, who is the current sheriff at Bright Falls. A Bureau field team was, arrived on the site 2 days later, only to confirm the event was over. Interviews were conducted, referred to the 1970 Blank, Thomas Zane, 1976, 1978, Odin Anderson, Tor Anderson. Alan Wake was believed to Blank instigator. Eyewitness reports highlight an old light switch, possible object of power, that Blank missing. Wake was not found at the scene. Reports claimed he dived into the lake, but no body was recovered in the search. The X is in the dark place. Don't let mold hitch a ride. So we've got threshold kids here.
Stepping to the FBC, there's lots to do, there's lots to read, but don't dash and don't scream much. Let's join the Threshold Kids. Let's join the Threshold Kids.
I can see you're upset, Meg. Why don't you tell Uncle Mr. Bones what's wrong?
I did bad on my clairvoyance test.
You can't ace every test, Meg. You see, everyone has different brains. Some brains can talk to each other. We call this ESP.
ESP?
Some brains can lift objects, like a baseball. Talk about a fly ball, eh, Meg? No interruptions! So who cares if you fail your clairvoyance test? Maybe your brain can throw baseballs, or talk to dead people, or make friends blind. Once we know what your brains can do, we'll know what job to give you. And if your brains are just right, you'll get to sit in the big chair.
What if I don't want the big chair?
What if I don't want the big chair? Everyone wants the big chair, Meg! That's why we're all here. Use those brains to listen for once, or the only chair you'll get in is the one with straps.
Everyone wants the big chair, man. Alright. Before I go to Dylan's room. Oh, that's just a shotgun back. I was gonna say, before I go there, I'll check this out. Right, peace.
I wish things had gone differently in Ordinary for us. But wishing won't change things. Finding the projector will.
That was when you broke containment.
Ordinary. There's so much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before. I mean, coming from me, that's saying something. The boy, Dylan Faden, prime candidate 6. And the sister as well. Once we catch up with her, but the boy, so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here. And I don't want to invoke his name. It's completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable. There was an incident. Yes. We lost a valuable member of our team, yes. Excessive force. Dylan has so much. But he's just a kid. Like, I'll take the blame. He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys. He's exceptional and under a lot of stress. Roberts got killed. It's an unfortunate accident, that's all. Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
We'll do it in personal. Right. Transcript of conversation subject to Dylan Faden for review by Dr. Down. Note, subject was a land during this outburst. DF 1752. You again. I thought I told you to leave me alone. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can you see where I am? Why did you help me get out of here? You always show me things I can't do anything about. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore. And I don't care about you. You both left me here. You know my brains if it means getting rid of you. Yeah. Get the message. Subject repeated the phrase F off multiple times before being sedated at 1753. Agent killed during blank involving blank, codename P6. Blunt force injury to the head and neck, excessive trauma of the abdominal region, lacerations and contusions of the upper and lower torso, fractures. That is a lot of damage. After examination, it was determined that the cause of death was internal bleeding that occurred when the blank was contorted through his blank. Oh, yeah, I don't need that one. We just watch that one, that's fine. Okay, cool. Right, so we need to go through this way.
They studied what happened in Ordinary here. That's the place to start looking.
sure there's at least one more enemy around here. No? Oh yeah, because they only last for a certain amount of time now. Okie dokie. Ooh, new quality, absolute. Right. Out dead dog. See your creepy teeth delivery and they raise you a dead dog. Yeah, like a straight up deceased dog. Had the collar on it and everything. Been rotting in that box since they packed it up. Go ahead and imagine how that smelled. Look at whining to me. I got to watch a parade of human teeth. A shipping manifest. Sphere, stolen material. Purified soil. Blank. Piece of various sizes and colours. Animal carcass, possibly canine. Rusted metal bucket, leather wallet. Aged shotgun cartridge. All materials to go to the investigation sector for further analysis. Oh Christ.
Dylan and I were both prime candidates. Experiments. Control point here, which is lovely. Hopefully something fixes the area because it does a lot of twisting and stuff with the hiss. There we go. Over here. It like fixes. We're going back home. Of course we are. It started there, and it's never gone away.
So the problem is, with it being as bright as it is out here, it makes the darker areas even worse. Okay, so there's nothing back here. So inside. Elevator plan. Yep, okay, cool. Berlin AWE, ordinary AWE, ordinary dump site. of assault. Not happy about this.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
Maybe down there. Check the road, right, so I'm going to wait for that to be back over this side, I guess. Okay, this is multiple.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
Mold.
It won't rotate. Something's blocking it.
That'll be the mold that's up there.
It won't rotate. Something's blocking it. Like it. There we go. There's no following us. Here, butch out teeth. Yes, I just had to inspect an inbound delivery of like 100 teeny tiny little boxes. Me, that's who. And you know what was inside each one? A single human tooth. I need to click on that, I have to click on this. This is trying to spread now. That's 45. Yeah, I think the next control point I might go back to see if I can have a word with Artie, see if there's any more janitorial missions. I feel like I probably missed out on some because I fell behind with the whole... Okay, so it's one of those invisible ones that I'm dealing with.
Soviet run. Oh, okay. Oh, it looks like a hole in the vent, and so Brown was just like, what if? Try, I was about to say shooting it. Try doing the melee. And it turns out it works. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, besides the devs and apparently me just then. Who'd have thunk it? Speed, delete that. 100% energy. Feels like an ambush area. No. Yes. Okay. Right, before I go down there, let's check all these out. You know what, I'm going to click missions. This says continue to explore enemy areas, so we don't put the very enemy area just yet. Can't find out what's behind door number 1 because apparently there's not enough power. Maybe there is enough power and I'm just not at the right point yet. I can't remove that now. Guess I just have to continue on. With that slide projector. That was all of them. There's a room I was just in. Alright. What do we get? Launch efficiency, evade efficiency. pass on those. The airplane in question has been brought in from a private airfield located in the town of Blank since 9. Expected to be connected to the Blank AWE. See case file Blank for details, and is evaluated for altered status. The plane is currently being stored in the transit corridor in the containment sector. Brought here through the New York subway tunnel. Special access Blank. More information on the tunnel Blank and links to urban legends centered on ghost stations, abandoned tracks, and Blank. File 4-12-4521. Plane's black box is currently being evaluated for Blank, and initial readings have been taken by a research team, though no altered status has yet been detected. Refer to file Blank. Refer to file 9-12-8371 for report. AWE stage 1.A. The first slide was a room with dirty wallpaper and dolls on a shelf. There were a lot of dolls. Dylan Faden interview 2002. The house was empty. No one lived there. But there a lot. It was like a secret playhouse. Yes, Faden therapy session 2010. I went to school with Neil. Some kids called him Nosebleed Neil. No, likely Neil Hosenberg, missing. He was mean. He had asthma. Tom, no, likely Tom Barlow, missing. And his gang, Freddy, likely Frederick Bartwell, missing. Hugo, known by this name, was found in public records, bullied him. We brought Neil to the dump to play DF. Interview 2002. Extrapolated information, unconfirmed existence of additional slide designated house.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows.
There's something making noise in that corridor, I'm not sure what it is.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but
watch that later.
We don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes.
That's what all the sound was. Essentially just the hiss there. Right, okay, so.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows. Thank you for staying with us. Here's our first caller.
Hi. What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know what would happen.
If who found out, brother?
The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary.
This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller.
No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town. And it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said, but that's bullshit.
Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but we're still a family show.
I'm sorry. It's just, my brother lived there. They said the town was destroyed, but it wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there.
So the population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation," written anywhere?
I'm not sure.
The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Hor Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction, as predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Reagan.
Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying!
Now, I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. And good timing, too. It's time for a short break, okay?
Alright. Now can actually watch this one.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions, or die trying.
Ordinary. AWE occurred in the town of Ordinary, caused by an object of power, slide projector ID OOP5, covered by local children at the dump outside town. A specific set of slides are used in the projector. The projected images open doorways to other dimensions. Multiple slides were used by the children, resulting in the disappearance of the town's adult population. Response. On August 30th, 2002, the siblings Dylan Faden, 10 years old, CP6 materials, and Jesse Faden, 11 years old, CP7 materials, playing at the local dump when they found a discarded slide projector, COOP15 case file, and Darling presentations blank. The details. The team led by Director Trench and Dr. Darling arrived at the site on September 14th. The AWE had ended, but the team found Faden children who led into the slide projector and slides, which had been burned with the exception of one. Jesse escaped when agents attempted to detain the pair. In total, 17 surviving individuals were found in the town. All of them were brought in for questioning and tests. The interviews blank and prime candidate program files blank. Ordinary AWE Stage 4.A, Town Proper. Witness testimonies. Jesse and me followed the dung monkeys to the cave. There was a lot of them. More of the kids from the town joined up. It's really scary. Jesse grabbed the projector and we ran as fast as we could. They chased us. I fell and hurt my knee. Jesse tried to help me, but the dung monkeys were coming. About to get us, but then Neil showed up. Neil looked like a dog. Like a melted dog. I knew it was him. Neil said a lot of times he didn't like being a boy because Tom just beat him up. I think he liked being a dog. The projector wouldn't turn off, so we changed the slide to the hand. I heard immediately she promised to help. Jess said we should call her Polaris, because she was doing stars at school. Extrapolated information, additional slide designated hand, ID-36, is verified in Bureau possession. Unconfirmed existence of natural entity designated Doug Neal. PID something. Right.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carla Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan?
Right, I just
Let's
thought since
begin
that's
then.
a thingy,
In
I
a
can...
single word, describe the world around you.
There we
Dr.
go.
Darling, please have full control.
I want to go to... Where are you? Ventilation is where we need to go. It's the closest one to Artie's office. Which is where we're headed. Advance the main story stuff a little bit, so maybe it's the new stuff to spawn in. Never know. Right, oh, it's done. There he is.
Appreciate music.
In New Year, okay.
That's the reason they can go as far as.
Yeah, countermeasures. Let's see. This one. I guess we'll grab that. We are still in containment, ordinary AWE, not WAE. We left off, which means we're going down the stairs. Well, that's Trench, I'm pretty sure. Don't know who that one is. B. Second side was called the Meadow, but there's really just an empty lot with a bunch of weed. The shack and a phone line. Smelled like flowers there. Powerful. Intoxicating. Crazy dreams there. Must have been because of the smell. I didn't like it. Like losing control. The dreams everything was melting, and then it'd come out, everything had melted around the projector. He was really into it. I found out he'd been coming down more and more on his own. Then Tom beat the secret out of Neil and found the projector. He and his goons took it. We thought Neil had got lost inside the meadow. Then when Tom changed the slide, that's not what happened. Unconfirmed existence of additional site designated Meadow. Stage 2. After what happened at the school to Mrs. Chester, we started spying on Tom. About where they took the projector. Tom is troglodytes for using the Sled Cave as their headquarters. That's where the projector was. Using the temple slide. We called it that, but really it was a broken concrete thing, like a warehouse or a bombshell or something very dark. The not mother lived there with her babies, children, I don't know. He was feeding Tom and the others her milk, changing it into little monsters. We call them dung monkeys. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide, designated temple. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity, designated not mother.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carla Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then. In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want to come, did he? He never visits, not since Roberts. Tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
Mm-hmm. What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
18.
What day is it today?
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil. And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
Let's see what they have on Ordinary. It's all here. Our home, our school, the woods, the dump.
Something else for it to shoot. What is it?
slide projector in the dump outside town. Did they recreate that too? Is that where they keep it?
Alright, well, I guess we're heading this way.
You mentioned a poem last time we talked. By Thomas Zane?
Oh.
Yes. Beyond the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle illuminated.
I looked the poem up. Only I couldn't find any poet by that name. I did find a European filmmaker who moved here in the 60s, named Thomas Zane.
What? I don't...
No matter. It suits you very well. The poem. How you see things. Maybe you wrote it yourself?
I didn't.
No matter.
Yeah, so she
You've said a
definitely
few
is special
times that you
because
feel like there's a piece of you missing. Can we talk about that?
Okay. Yeah, it's this... I feel an emptiness, a yearning for something that I think I lost.
It's natural for you to feel that way. Your brother and your parents are dead.
No! No. Dylan's not dead. And that's not even it.
You're referring to the imaginary friend from your childhood?
Polaris. She's come back. After a long time, she's calling me. In a dream I saw, she showed me things.
Jesse.
It felt more real than anything. As real as what happened in Ordinary.
The industrial accident in your hometown? That you believe Polaris caused?
No, it wasn't an accident. There was no industrial accident, and Polaris didn't cause it. She saved me and Dylan.
Jesse...
No! It was a cover-up. The government knows about it. There were agents there. Agents from... I don't know exactly, but they took Dylan. I'll find them. I won't stop looking. Polaris wants me to go to New York. There's a building there. I have to leave soon. I have to be there at a very specific time. Something hugely important is going to happen.
Jesse, you know we can't let you go until you're well. And that begins by understanding what's real and what's imagined.
Yeah. I don't think I like this psychiatrist. There is... And yeah, I didn't really like him from the first one where like barraging with questions. Right.
Moved the whole landfill here in the middle of New York, and nobody saw a thing. Pretty unbelievable.
Ordinary supplement. Details are largely based on interviews conducted with Dylan Faden. See interviews blank and blank for relevant information. And the obtained therapy session of Jesse Faden, as well as circumstantial evidence found at the Ordinary site. Note that accounts provided by all three sources contain conflicting data. For example, Dylan claims there were 8 slides of the projector. Jesse mentions 9 slides. Bureau found 1 intact slide, designation 36, and burnt the remaining 6 others. Fortunately, these slides are too badly damaged to be to be used the projector. Jesse Faden is believed to be the individual responsible for burning the slides. Note: Dr. Dowling has ordered that the entirety of the ordinary town dump be brought to the Bureau for examination and analysis, with the hopes of finding slides or other altered materials. Due to the limited space in the investigation sector, the AWE investigated in sector. By order of Dr. Dowling, all work in ordinary dump is to stop effective immediately. Resources will be allocated to the blank department. Details will be forthcoming. The area will be sealed at the end of the month. Please remove all personal effects for that time. Any photographic slides, the type used in the slide projectors found in the area, should be delivered to Dr. Dowling immediately. Right. Drop down, so this is going to be a big fight. More than likely. Okay, let's find the way up. Taking some that's probably one. I wonder if I'd do better from the ground floor with this. Right, before we do anything, what do we get? That's useless to me. That's about us to... Right, got glove supplemental. The item was found in the penthouse suite at Blank, Toronto, belonging to David Wolf, who was investigated for illegally dealing in altered materials. See case 13-HQ-37. Bureau agents raided his penthouse and found numerous paranatural belongings, including Blank and this item. Mr. Wolf was arrested. Supplementary materials. Article from Toronto Daily. Found a 36-year-old Bay Street investment trader, filthy rich, married to a model, disappear overnight. That's the question that's kept Toronto high society up at night this past week. Police say it's being looked into. Some nutjob radio show in the States claims he disappeared to join the Illuminati. It's his reporter's opinion that Mr. Wolf, bored of his job, sick of his family, left it all behind to retire to some remote beach paradise. Now he's sipping Mai Tais. Is it Mai Tais? Whatever that drink is. While the world thinks he's dead. Right. Time to try this again. Hopefully, with better results. If I fail this attempt, I'll pause it and then just like start recording again once through this fight, because this fight over and over again.
The whole landfill here in the middle of New York, and nobody saw a thing. It's unbelievable.
because that's got red by it. Give me that's just going to move the story on. So we'll just.
Effective immediately. I'm setting up a new department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there. That's where my focus will be now. The ordinary site remains as is. We'll be back to... I don't know when.
Darling took the projector to the research sector. He dedicated a whole area to it, so he knew it was important. Dimensional research. That's where we go next.
That'll be why he sent us down here. So we're out of the way. And the reason I'm excited for this is that means it's time for the Alan Wake stuff. I'm excited for that. Although, looking at the time, I might be better off leaving that for a little bit. Like the next session. Right. Oh yes. I was confused for a second. Like, how did I get in this room? I don't see anything. There we go. I can see an additional enemy now. Read that. I can upgrade this now. So what did I just make? 5. Oh, why not? All these. Oh yes. So we've got an additional slot for that. Those. Media, Dylan Faden. That's one we just watched. That sounds suspicious. That's one thing I need to do. Oh, we've picked up a whole bunch of things. Okay, lovely. Right, so where's this? Central Executive.
Mist engulfed the elevator. There was something there, reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh? We should check this out.
Let's go. And I'm like, oh, I'll do it next time. Then my brain went, I don't want to do it now, but very dark out there.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation D-084-5 launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of anonymous blank regarding inhumane treatment of a blank currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose in this investigation. The majority of blank sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such blank. Yet the one blank confirmed the blank's code name to be blank. All files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the blank. Research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we recommend an investigation into blank research. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically the disappearance of an author, Alan Wake. For the interagency information exchange agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? Because Alex Casey is the name of a fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Very interesting that an FBI agent sharing the name of the most famous character Wake wrote. Currently looking into a case dealing with the writer's fiction coming true. This is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? If it were to, I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. Okay, that's that one, yeah.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
It's been related to Alan Wake stuff. I don't want to linger in the dark too long. The supplement. Borough tractor. Supplementary materials. Note, miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Burrow William, male, Caucasian. Case summary, 33-year-old man found dead on his property per police report. Remains obtained for coroner office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings, blunt force injuries on his head, lacerations in his ear cheek. I don't think I need to read all of that. Conclusion, it is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by the authorities. Removal of organs is consistent with an animal attack. Mr. Kirkland, the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead, from the containment breach yesterday. Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Carolyn Dempsey, Lindsay Malcolm, Charles Murray, Eric Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, by your request, network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Fortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet. The only hard copies of reports existed behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. Blank of Blank 2019, to whom it may concern, is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's blank. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, but I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our blank, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the blank, loose inside. I'll never forget the screams of Braid agents begging for us to open the firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The blank has failed his agents. I'll never forgive him for that. William Kirkland. Unofficial. Mr. Dennis. Oh, yes, there's an increase in AWE cases. Yes. It would be a good idea to pull together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have all the staff. We don't have the staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing, and the ones left for other departments, Kirkland quit. I held an engine to keep up with the workload. Hell, on the paperwork for all these altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, it might sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. The lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. Better not still be sitting on your desk. People are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. Right, can we go this way? Yes, we can. Okay, so we've got lights on, that's good. Let's go around this side again. Director Investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, blank was launched into the blank of Director Zachariah Trench. Recent change in blank witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive blank when blank with other staff has been observed. However, investigation is aimed at interpreting the issue rather than proving it. Notable blank between Director Trench and Dr. Dr. Darling, has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Both applying to meet for an interview on the matter. Witness account suggests arguments center around the dimensional research wing and the blank kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's blank as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded Director Trench's behaviour is not indicative of any blank, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to file blank for full report. And summary, Dr. Raya Underhill is professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom. She teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits, and she is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Pardon me. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of their work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position ahead of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Get rid of that one. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true. You are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What do you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They're better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. I don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You're a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You're both failures plotting against me. Traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You're choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. I don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Oh. One more things there. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to target AWE like you asked. Sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. Didn't find any sign of them there. Given the records, it is possible they've switched teams, like you suspected. I don't think that's the case. The event definitely occurred here in Keystone. I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case. That was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If this was an AWE, it seems to be over. I walked through the whole town, The only strange thing we noticed were the markings on various buildings. Two overlapping circles with a dot in the shed space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when we get back. In the meantime, send a team out here to cordon this place up. Maybe get the comms guys working on the cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenan. Tractor procedures. This item's not in Bureau custody. Unknown. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill. The last seen. Item is capable of vocalizing responses or growls, and unmanned locomotion considered highly aggressive and dangerous. When the item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of the Burrow Farm outside Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on the scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor, and it calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. The team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item and responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Real searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mr. Burrow, revealed that Mrs. Burrow revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier that night of the incident. Whether these events are connected, currently unknown. I'll hijack this. Good job, there's a hell of a tank.
There. Now that gate should open.
Goodness, so much reading this. Prime Candidate Program. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P-142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program blank by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subject relevant to the investigations used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic blank and blank. Blank were brought into the oldest house and placed under blank. Examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases, and it only resulted in the traumatic blank of preternaturally inclined blank. Not only is this a breach of the Ash Act, it lies in the face of basic human blank. Investigation team unequivocally blank the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be blank immediately. Right, so I need to go this way. That button. Official findings report. RE Instant A-49. Purpose of internal investigation X 039-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI filled in the deaths of blank agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause. No department has provided any evidence to fault this. Technicians were able to recover the researcher's notes on the specimen in the internal network. The blank of blank, the specimen began displaying sharp increase in aggressive blank. Cross-referencing that date with various logs, found only 2 events consistent inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The airflows were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Blank entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Alice Wake? Okay. Given the connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Blank's presence, I'm assuming Wake, relevant to the specimen's escape, and to the Blank investigation is ongoing. I wonder if this specimen is the Dark Presence, or maybe Mr. Scratch.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Blessed Organization. This group/individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, applying a level of skill and caution rarely seen on paracriminal groups. A review of past cases found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from an exposure to illicit paranatural materials. 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item, I should say. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with the power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you?
Mr. Scratch.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
Alan's a spiral.
And Thomas Zane was with him.
I'm not
the
sure about
poet.
this one.
No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
That's our door for the bureau. I'm not sure about this one. I can't see it quite. This was the one that was mentioned in the note. Two overlapping circles with a dot in the center. So, nothing there at present. Where are the threes? Take me back to where it was. Okay. So we went over here. Run this. This flicked on. That's a bonk. What's next? Oh. Gives us the last key. The fact that that light just died.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Christ, okay. But those that haven't done Hartman, Hartman, if I'm remembering correctly, was a guy that ran a therapy clinic specifically for creative type people. Then he was basically using power of the lake to try and get rich from artists that were struggling to create. He took in Alan. Oh, lovely. He took in Alan by convincing Alice to sign him up, and eventually they all got overrun by darkness, and yeah, that guy got absolutely destroyed. I think I might actually call it here. Where was the... Yeah, when we come back to it, we'll continue with this one. We'll go through as much of this as we can. Then we'll move on to this one, this one, this one. We might actually be able to find that now, because we couldn't get it because it was all the way at the other end of the. Well, it was in the area we couldn't access because that required a level 6 card. That can wait a bit longer because it's painful. Can try and do that one. This is main story. That's additional quests. Okay. Yeah. Right, see, I'll just re-interact with that. And we'll end it there, so thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time. Bye now.